better get your mind right. Black and brown stick together cause the system is against us. We can't let them come and divide us all up and really lynch us. Those of us out in the field gotta get ready for war. Those of us inside the house be the spook by the door. By the door waiting for master to put the plan in action. We're not sitting at the table and we ain't taking their lashings. We doing all the work and only they can cash in. Imagine if we kicked in the door and started blasting, demanding our freedom. No point in asking, cause asking implies that these devils have compassion, and compassion doesn't explain the scars from the lashes, but these lashes explain the gasoline and matches.
Okay. You good now? You good now? Cause you really just got your battle rap on. Is you good?
Yo.
Is you good?
Just had a moment. What?
So listen, y'all, we are back. It's been a minute. Activist Hour, Violence in Boston. I am your host, Monica Cannon Grant. We are here with Calvin Feliciano, aka
Yo, Troll J Simpson in the building, aka Nat King Troll, aka J Troll, aka Sir Troll a Lot, aka Supreme Leader Aya Troller Kameni, leader of the Troll Patrol Squad up.
You're doing great, Calvin.
We are doing great.
Not doing great, Calvin's touch. Listen, it's been a while. We got a lot to go over, a lot to talk about. So, listen, first I want to say it's good to be back.
It's great to be back.
And not breaking up, right?
Right. I know, our last one, we were like completely like, it was like, we were like moving and like,
right, and it was a lot happening, a whole lot happening, but it's good to be back. It's good to be back on air. We got a lot of things that we need to go over. We want to talk about violence, politics, everything in between. What's up, Calvin?
Yo, grinding, man, grinding and organizing. April and May were like the craziest months for us ever.
Right. Facts.
Completely insane.
Facts.
Including this remix, though.
You just had to bring up the remix.
Including a remix, though. I just troll into fruition.
Did you?
Right.
You think you had something to do with it?
I think so.
You done.
I think I created the space for magic to happen.
I don't think you did that. I think that was me and my husband.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure Clark was.
I think it was Clark. I'm not a rocket scientist or anything, but
like I'm not a doctor, but I'm pretty sure.
Shout out to Trey Rock down in Florida fighting for women in prison. I'm just gonna pivot real quick. Shout out to Trey Rock who's down in Florida doing the damn thing, making sure that women who have been incarcerated and formerly incarcerated have some dignity. You know what I'm saying? All down in Miami, holding it down. I seen your TV interview. Keep doing your thing. Shout out to Monica James. It's some amazing sisters doing some amazing things, man.
Word, man. Salute to the goddess.
Can I just say I'm proud that like my network has these people in it, you know?
Blessed to be in community.
Absolutely. What's going on?
Too much.
Yeah.
Too much.
Maybe I should start since
Let's go.
I done caught a lot of heat for my meet and greet.
Those are fire, by the way. How was this last one?
So it was amazing. And for those that don't know, so I spent a lot of time, verbally holding accountable Mayor Walsh for like almost 300 days. And now we gotten to the point where we're sitting having a discussion. And not for nothing, we do this thing where I call him out, we get mad, we don't talk, we talk again. And like, it's like it's like a me and you relationship.
Right.
And so we're sitting down now, meeting, going over the violence prevention stuff, trying to get some stuff done. And listen, I'm hopeful. I'm not going to say that.
Hashtag stuff done.
Right. I'm not going to say that I'm about to make miracles. I'm not going to tell that lie. I'm not about to say that Monica's about to save the world. What I am about to say is that I'm going to go beyond calling this man out and provide him with an actual violence prevention plan with a budget attached to it and some metrics to gauge the success and failure rates and try to get some stuff done. And then also work on some community accountability stuff that me and him have discussed. So don't steal my intellectual property and sit in his office and say it's yours. It's not.
Word.
Violence in Boston trademarked, and I will take you to court. But yeah, like,
even without court, we will drag you on this radio all summer.
And I have no respect to person, politician or person.
God.
Don't do it. Like, there's so much salt being thrown my way just for sitting down having a conversation with him. But this is the thing. Your activism is trash if all you do is call somebody out and call it accountability and you don't have nothing sustainable to offer. We always talk about the inside-outside game. But if you don't have the inside game, then you need to link up with somebody that does have the inside game. But
Right.
don't trash those of us that are trying to inch the needle a little bit forward, because I'm not about to sit here and tell y'all I'm about to win freedom for all my
Right,
people.
right.
But
You're not going to convince Marty to abolish the police.
right, like that's not going to happen. But what I will do is push the needle a little bit forward in a direction towards my people. And that happens
Right.
by sitting down, having a real plan. Shout out to Thaddeus Miles, who like
AKA Black Jesus. Shout out to Black Jesus.
shout out to Black Jesus, because when I be on one and I'm like pissed off, I talk to him and he has a way of making a lot of things clear, given his experience, his 20 plus years of experience doing public safety work, doing housing work, and doing community work.
Word.
And now those are the people who I call. Like I call Thaddeus, I call Tito, especially when I be like, you know what, I'm feeling because you know I got 100, I got 1 and 100, I have nothing in between.
Right.
But I call them and I be on 100, and by the time I'm done, I be like on 2, because they put a lot of things into perspective, like don't give up, keep fighting. But listen, also you have to be mindful that you need to take this tactic or try it this way, or also be mindful of what's happening on the other end that you can't see.
Right.
And oftentimes we don't have the ability to do that because we're only seeing from our point of view.
Right.
Shout out to all the amazing people who've been sitting in those meetings with me, with the mayor. Shout out to Jordana Prince, Dan McKenzie, Adrian, and Alexis Major. Kilra Hinton, shout out to Kilra. Shout out to Ariana from Teen Empowerment. Ariana and Aaliyah, my children, who have been sitting in those meetings with us. There's been some dope meetings. Shout out to Stanley Green.
Is Ari with TE right now?
Not my daughter.
Oh, you meant I know
There's
the other
2
one
of
you're
them.
talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
Shout out to them. I tried to make sure that the table was all inclusive. So we had young people, we had people doing reentry work, we had people who doing employment work, but we had survivors. Like, you know, making the table all inclusive, because if my voice is the only voice, I'm still losing.
Right.
Also making sure that everybody at the table don't agree with me, and they have different perspectives.
Good.
Also, shout out to Rufus Folks. We were having some really dope conversations, and I'm hopeful. I'm not going to say that we about to win the revolution, but I'm hopeful.
Right.
and-
You're also not going to convince Rufik to abolish like the
The
police
police
department. Not him nor Marty is going to do that, and that's fine. That's fine.
Right. But I'm hopeful. And it's good to have hope. You know what I'm saying? Especially
Right.
when you're doing this work. If you lose hope, it's kind of pointless to get up sometime.
Right.
So that's where I'm at. But
I just feel like sometimes what I love about this is, one, seeing, because you get to expose them, the people that are flipping out even for the conversation happening, which is crazy. Like, we don't live to the point that I always make. I feel like we don't live in this fairy tale where none of this affects us. We actually have to do something about this.
Right.
Like in real life.
And this is the thing, like, I don't have the luxury of being separated from the problem. Like,
Right.
the other day, I'm getting ready to post the shoot, and while I'm listening to the shots, so then I hop in the group chat with my kids, like, where the hell are y'all at? Where's everybody at?
Right.
I just heard 10 shots. And my little cousin, I didn't know, was walking through the door. So he walked through the door at 2:40, 2:41, the shots went off.
Oh my God.
So like I'm not so far separated that I'm out of touch. I'm not the respectable Negro who can empathize with the people down there. Like, that's not my story. I'm still living it. But it gives me a different perspective, and I know, like, I'm heavy traumatized, but I'm also cognizant that it's not just my kids that I'm fighting for, not just my community I'm fighting for, it's a whole city. And when you put it into perspective, you have to sometimes come down off of the activism, off of the, from
Right.
throwing the rocks,
Right.
and sit down and have a conversation and go, okay, if you're willing to work with me, let's have this conversation. Just don't blow no smoke on my ass.
Right.
Which is what I said to the mayor. And he was cool with it. He's like, listen, let's be transparent across the board. So let's see where it goes.
I just feel like some of y'all get caught up in this fairy tale world. It's so fun to call out. It's so fun to say X person's trash, that person's trash, the government's trash. We shouldn't be involved in this. We shouldn't be involved in that. We shouldn't take part. It's abolish the BPD or nothing. Like, it can't be that. And for some of us, we have to get something done in real life.
The other
Something's
piece
gotta
is
happen.
this. This is the other piece. And I've been hearing it a whole lot. You're ignorant and clueless if you're still saying, I'm not into politics.
Right.
If you are still one of those people who are like, I'm about this work, I'm not into politics, you're stupid. Because politics is into you. Your landlord is into politics. Your employer is into politics.
Right.
Your mass health is political. Your housing, the RAF program, political.
Right.
The fact that you can't pay your light bill, political. The fact that you're struggling is political. The fact that we have to sit and develop a violence prevention plan means that there's some people who sat in spaces and didn't do what they were supposed to do, and that is politics.
Right.
I'm not saying you need to be a political advisor in the room, but what you do need to know is the basics, that people are making decisions that have never seen you before,
Right.
and you should have a say-so.
Right.
And if you don't feel comfortable having that say-so, then you find somebody who can have that say-so to speak on your behalf. But if you ain't involved in politics, then you're not involved in life.
Mm-hmm.
If you work with young people, it's political that you don't have resources to be able to help them in a system. That is political.
And at the end of the day, if we're going to get 1,000 extra summer jobs out of it, we got to try to get those. Does that solve the problem? Absolutely not. That's a
Right.
drop in the bucket. But we got to get them 1,000 kids.
And guess who we got to sit down with to get those 1,000 jobs?
Right.
The political people.
Right.
So I need people to understand when they're like, I'm just about this work. You have no resources in your work because of politics.
Right.
When you get ready to work with somebody and sit down and have a conversation with someone, and you're talking about trauma or what have you, and you get ready to refer them to something being on the other end is political. Rather that's a
Right.
mental health worker
Right.
or a resource to help with your lights, food service, it's political.
Right.
And so I used to be one of those people like, Tito, I'm not your political friend, I'm your in the hood friend. And he's like, so no, you're political.
Right.
You're just an activist.
The hood is political.
Right.
Right.
The hood is political. The
Right.
fact that we have a
Right.
hood is political.
Right. Right.
So, that's
I just feel like it's always so, like, people don't realize, like, Malcolm X called for black and Latino cops.
right.
He literally did that. If you look into his old speeches, and I have a great playlist of them,
Right,
super
right,
fat.
right.
He says, when telling people not to go to war or stating his opposition, he says, like, how are they going to ask us to fight for this country and we don't have anything here? Give
Right.
us some black and brown precincts. Give us some black and brown cops and firefighters. Give us some black schools. Give us some, and then we'll have something to actually fight for. He
Right.
called for that.
Right.
And he said that, even in that speech, people love to do that speech where he's dissing the house Negro, right? He's
Right.
like, I'm a field Negro, and I da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
But what he also was saying was, rock master to sleep.
Right.
He also said that there was a role for that person. He talked about the Mau Mau's in Africa and how he's like, people would come around and be like, the Mau Mau and the Mau Mau. The person would say, I never heard of him, boss.
Right.
And he's like, that's what he wants you to say. Tell him the same thing when he asks you about the Muslims. Say, I never heard of him, boss.
Right. But they don't get that. They're not rocking nobody to sleep. They're getting in there, getting their coin and forgetting that they black.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
again, I am not anti working for the city, the state, or whomever. I'm anti you forgetting. You get that job, because I'm going to tell you something. I was
Glad Rufus is there. I thought
I was
that
just about
position
to
director
say,
would have been great
I
for
am-
you. Like,
Yeah, no.
fine, but I'm just saying if you wanted it.
Right. But I was elated to see Rufus.
Right.
Because I know for a fact we don't agree on everything. But I do know he cares about my community.
Right.
That I'm cool with.
Right.
So we can have conversations. We can work together and strategize around different things along with the work that he's already doing. I don't need somebody high-fiving me all the time. I
Right.
just need somebody that's going to push the needle to get some stuff done.
Right.
And so, no, Donna, so it's going to be a combination of Wednesdays and Saturdays. She's like, no more Saturdays, no more Saturday nights.
Doing
I'm
both.
like, we're gonna be doing
About
both.
to be packed.
We hit him. We
June
gotta
and July is
hit
going to
'em.
be crazy. There's
gotta
like
hit 'em.
70-something people running for Boston City Council at large.
Did you say 70?
Yo, everybody running, fam. You should check in. Your like hair designer might be running.
Oh, shut up.
Whoever's delivering them damn burritos might be running. We should just check in. Like, yo, you on the ballot for Boston City Council?
It's stupid.
So I heard that only 10 of them got on the ballot.
Seriously?
So some people are hurting, and I think including some good people.
Ah.
Some good people might be salty right now. If you somehow
When
have
did it
not
close?
made the
Today?
ballot, what's today?
Today is
The
the
24th?
22nd.
Oh, they might have.
A couple
I
more
think they
days?
have. No, I think it's today.
Today?
Yeah.
Mm.
And I heard that only 10 were on, and there was definitely 26 running.
Wow.
So 16 of y'all are real salty. And if you happen to be someone we love, Mingos check in, Priscilla check in.
I know
a
Priscilla
bunch of
got
y'all
on the budget. Oh,
Already?
we got a
Here
call.
we go.
Caller, you're on.
Who dat? Who dare?
Hello?
Hi, is this a show?
Yes.
What's going on?
Who is it?
It's Mingos.
What up, Mingles?
Mingos, you on the ballot, dog?
Are you on a ballot?
Listen, we still waiting on numbers, man. Like you said, there's 70,000 people running, plus the hairdresser, burrito man, and everybody under the sun. So they're backed up, man. They're still counting last week's numbers.
Oh,
That's ill.
wow.
How are you feeling? Are you feeling good?
Oh, listen, I'll be on that ballot.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Good.
I know that Priscilla made the ballot.
You know she made a ballot?
Yeah.
I know she made the ballot. I
Good
sat
for
and
you.
talked with her today. So shout out to Priscilla Banks. I know that Ricardo Arroyo
Yep.
made the ballot. I know that some of the counselors that have already were counselors made the ballot. So
Right.
I know Andrea made it. I know Michelle Wu made it. And I know that Kim Janey made it.
Right.
I'm not sure about the
Yep.
other individuals.
Mingos, man, when are you we wanna do a interview, hour-long interview. Are you free Saturday night?
Yeah, for sure. Just let me know where and when. I'll be there.
All right, we're gonna hit you. We might do it in the Berry. We might be at Mo's crib.
Oh, sure. You know what that means.
So you come local. Just don't come with no bins of needles trying to drop them on Monica's table. You know what I'm saying? We got children in the house.
Yeah, nah.
You can't come with 300. You can't come with 300 needles.
Yeah, that's a new movie. You know that, right? It's
Right.
300 needles.
Right,
Listen.
right.
Yo,
But yo, this is dope. I appreciate you guys coming on Wednesdays.
Yo, we're excited. I appreciate the opportunity too. I think I'm really gonna like doing the Wednesdays and the Saturdays. I think that it helps people be connected to us more often.
Right.
And it's also gonna help us interview all of these candidates.
Right. And similar to the Joe Button podcast, you get popping, you need to do 2 nights.
Yeah.
The
you
streets
know.
is looking
Right.
for this.
Also, there's a lot of people who are now starting their own little radio programs and podcasts. So I don't want to lose my base cow.
I dig that. But listen, guys, I appreciate y'all. Love what y'all doing. Keep doing what y'all doing.
Yo, Mingos, before you go, how can people plug into the campaign? Where can they go?
They can go to DeRosa@large.org. And if they
Word.
want to, contribute, if they want to volunteer, like Dan, I'm running a grassroots campaign.
Right.
I got a lot of people who ain't never participated in politics who now want to be a part of it and get to understand what goes on behind the doors and what we got to do to make sure things happen. So they can go to DeRosa@large.org.
Yo, peace and love, man. I
Yo.
love the Cape Verdeans of Boston because everybody hits Latinos for having big families. They be like 7,000
Hey,
deep.
listen, we
Stupid.
They be like 7,000 deep. I guarantee you Mingos got enough cousins to get on that ballot. Yo, man, you a good dude, bro.
Yo, shout out to
Hey, y'all
Mingos.
be
Yo,
good.
we love you, and we'll talk to you soon.
All of them gonna sign the papers.
These stupid.
Betu, Detu, Manu, Adilson, all them motherfuckers gonna sign
Yo,
the papers.
you're a problem.
Those are real names. I guarantee you he got friends and family members, all those names. Betu, Manu, Detu,
Okay,
Adilson.
can we pivot real quick? So this race with Jimmy out in Brockton, this Gene dude is
Right.
annoying my soul.
Right.
And he's annoying my soul because I see he's gotten a lot of support from people, but I don't think nobody's doing their homework. This is a dude who's pro-police heavy,
Uh-huh.
very problematic when it comes to his views around Black American people.
Right.
And so what's going on? Are you hearing anything?
Definitely. I've known Gene for a long time. Very calculated cat. A lot of people are saying that that's why he did that whole, he did a video,
Yeah, it was horrible.
go say hi and hug a police officer.
Go
or
say
something like
hi
that. It was-
and hug a police officer. Say that again, Calvin.
He literally
With a
was
straight
like, go
face.
say hi, and I can't do it a straight face, but he said,
Go say hi and hug a police officer. So you know he's about to get a bunch of donations from the cops, right?
Well, no, I mean, no, they still hate him because
Oh.
they're supporting the incumbent mayor, who's completely with them. They don't trust him, and a lot of people feel like he was doing that for strategy. Because he's also the author of the trust ordinance of the Brockton. I think they call it Brockton United Ordinance,
Uh-huh.
and it's basically safe communities. And so he's getting slammed by it. The mayor called him out in his State of the Union speech by name. The mayor was like, "We got Gene Bradley running around here," and
Carrying on like a
the
fool.
white people hate him. I mean, either one of them would honestly be good for the city of Brockton. Jimmy's obviously the homie, and I just whichever one of them two wins the primary, I'm with.
I want Jimmy to win. Jimmy's
the
that
truth,
dude,
man. Jimmy's the truth.
Yo, that's a young dude who I feel like he gets it. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't know, Jimmy's last name is
Pereira.
If you're in Brockton, go volunteer for Jimmy. Visit his website. He's doing big things. Jimmy's Cape Verdean.
Yep.
Jimmy Pereira. Please support him. He's a really good dude. Read up on his campaign. He's not hard to find, but yeah, he's dope.
He a good kid, man. He a good kid. He got some of my people in Springfield gonna do a little event for him.
Yeah.
Out there.
I want
'cause
to
he
try
went
to do
school.
something for him too here in Boston.
Somewhere in the hood. Let's go.
Try to do some type of event for him, or friends of Jimmy or something, you know.
Right.
But yeah, he's a dope dude. I'm really excited about that.
The homie Jimmy, man, Brockton's finest. He's illin'.
This election season
He's
is gonna be
illin'.
crazy. There's a lot of people who done threw their hat in.
But I want to see. So you know, Priscilla made the ballot.
Yes.
All right. We hope and think Jimmy made the ballot. I'm
Right.
not Jimmy. Mingos made the
Mingos,
ballot.
yeah.
Jimmy's on the ballot. We know the incumbents definitely got on, and that includes Big Al. Don't think she won't get
Althea?
on the ballot. Yeah.
She's on?
Yeah. she get her signatures. She might come in 8th and beat some people. She might beat people we love.
Yeah.
Like, don't be surprised.
Yeah.
Yo.
Oh, Julia made the ballot.
Julia made the ballot.
Alejandra made the ballot.
For sure. And the 4 incumbents, that's already 6.
Yeah.
And Priscilla made it 7.
Yeah.
I heard only 10 made it.
Time will tell.
So,
Time will tell.
damn, man.
Time will tell.
Oh,
That means there's a lot of
man.
people who didn't. I have some clues though. Like I have some people in mind who I think they didn't make it just because of based on when they pull papers, and how hard it's been. Because you know if
500.
somebody else used those signatures
Right.
and yeah, so
Right. So you go into these events. I mean, when I went to Kim Janey's kickoff, you went before me.
Yeah.
Were there like a line? There's like a line of people collecting signatures. I'm like, y'all realize that the first 4 to turn these in gets them.
Right. There was a line.
Yeah.
When I first got there, I didn't stay because that was the day that they had shot up my neighborhood. But
Damn.
I went, gave Kim some love, donated to her campaign, and chit chatted with Marty real quick.
Nice.
And then
I heard he was there. He spoke.
Yeah. We had a really, he's a funny dude when he want to be. We had a good
Yeah.
conversation, and then I was out. I jumped back in my car and I was out.
Right.
Speaking of Kim, Leon Rivera, is that his last name?
I think his name. We have to be able to say the government here because you're going to be on a ballot.
Right.
So, his name is Santiago Rivera.
Santiago Leon Rivera.
Right.
I'll do that so people know
Right,
who I'm talking
right,
about.
Right. On Facebook, Leon Rivera
is also running, so Kim has an opponent.
Right.
I'm not sure of the other people, so I don't want nobody to feel like they're being excluded. I just don't
Valerie
know that.
Hope Rust, who we don't know.
Valerie Hope Rust.
Yep.
Not familiar with her, but I know that person is also running.
And then Steve Wise, and I don't know who that is either.
I seen his name during the city council race before.
Yeah, I think he ran
had
at large last time.
No, he ran for 7.
Oh, okay. He was in that.
He had
19,000
those
people.
big posters with him and Marty on them.
Okay, I know who
it
this
was a
is.
picture of him and Marty. That's how I remember who he is because
Got it.
the sign stayed up forever after the election was over.
Right.
Yeah. So it'll be an
Damn.
interesting
I mean,
election
look, man,
season.
Leon a good kid. He'd be a great counselor, whatever. Like he's, I'm not about pushing people not to run or any of that.
This is what democracy looks like.
That's what it is.
Right.
I will say I am with Kim. She is a goddess of the Bury. I love her. Her marijuana equity and inclusion ordinance is green reparations. In real life, she broke
the
it
one
down
she
with
came
us.
in
Oh my
and did on the
God.
show. Yeah.
I got people hitting me up, Springfield, Worcester, Lynn, Lawrence. People hitting me up all over the place like, yo, can you send me that? Can you send me the text? I've been forwarding that out, and they're forwarding it out to other contacts. One of my cats from Springfield and sent it out to people in Chicago.
Right.
Like, that shit's a national
And this is
model.
the part that makes it difficult about elections because I had no idea that Leon was going to plan to pull papers.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, I'm a person of my word. My word is my bond. So when I commit to somebody, that's who I'm committed to.
Right.
But I also want to be able, like, any insight and information I can give him, I'm definitely going to give him. Any advice or whatever, I'll definitely give him. But it just makes it difficult when you have multiple people you care about running for office or whatever. And
Right.
again, like, Kim is dope. So it'll be an interesting election season. Honestly, I'm excited to see how people run their campaigns being first-time candidates because I know what that feels like.
It's hard.
And it's hard.
Right,
And it's
right,
emotional.
right.
And so I don't ever want to be in a position to discourage anybody from running for office because there were a lot of people who told me
Right.
that I wasn't worthy.
Right.
And look, if you ask me, it was a success. 90 votes is
Damn
great
right.
for a
Of
first-time
a couple
candidate.
thousand? Absolutely.
Yeah, so,
Absolutely. Come on. You see, one of my homegirls, shout out to Yolanda Cancel. Hurry up, Calvin. Let's go. Hurry. He's doing shout out to my son. Yo, my son 14 years old out here.
Right.
So he almost half the age of Mo's oldest.
Yo, did you just see
and
that,
13
Brian?
and a half years older than her youngest.
Brian, he really just tried to do me. You see that, right? You see what's...
I saw it.
You seen it.
I saw
Okay.
Yo.
Yo, really?
Shout out to my Latina sister, Monica.
So first off, I don't have a 28-year-old. You tried it. That was
Well, he's
cute.
29, he's
He's
29.
20.
Okay. All right.
You tried it.
And there's one that's like 5 months. Just throwing that out there. There is still 2 decades in between this.
Listen, CJ and Narion get along great. He's 20. He's 5 months. They talk on a regular basis. It
amazing.
is great. He loves his brother.
He's already such an old soul, but growing up with them kids is going to make him so much growner.
Yeah, it
Oh,
is. Because they
man.
talk to him like he's a big boy, and he's
Right.
like sitting up, and he's huh? Like,
Right,
and he's
right.
mad tuned in.
Right.
And like, soon as you say something, he's busting out laughing like he knows what you're
Oh,
talking
my
about.
I love seeing them.
So yeah.
We're babysitting, right? In like 2-3 weeks?
Yes,
in
you
June?
are.
Yeah.
Yes, you
That's
are.
gonna
You
be
are on the
great.
calendar to
Good,
babysit. I'm glad you
good.
remembered.
We're so with it. Oh my God, we're trying to babysit my baby mama baby. It's a weird situation. We had dinner yesterday. We're like super friends with her and her man. It's so weird.
You're
It's
gonna
so funny.
babysit your baby mother's baby. So can I tell you?
They got an infant. We about to babysit.
First off, Calvin, you are the real MVP.
It's so bad.
Okay, so time out. Can I tell
Oh
you?
my God.
My ex-husband's baby's mother is not letting me watch.
Not going down.
She's not letting me. It's just not gonna happen.
Imagine that.
And I've even like, so what I wanted to do is like a photo shoot of all the kids because like I have 3 with my ex-husband, and then he has the one with her, and then I have CJ. And so I was gonna do like a sibling photo shoot, no adults, a
right.
sibling photo shoot, so
Right.
all the parents can have pictures of all the kids,
Right.
or whatever. It's been a fight to the finish.
Modern
To the
families, yo. Modern
Yo,
families are different.
You have to figure it out. We could fight toe to toe all the time over nothing,
Right.
or we can work together. At
Right.
the end of the day, that's my kid's little sister. I have their
Right.
little brother.
Right.
They want to grow up and see each other.
Right.
And these kids, listen, don't hold these kids back from knowing who their siblings are.
Right.
They get older and be done slept with somebody they ain't supposed to sleep with.
Right,
Better tell these kids the truth.
I mean, you just got to make it happen, man. And
You got to
know,
put your pride to the side. I'm gonna be honest
Right.
with you, Calvin. I
Right.
am PE to the TTY, but I had to listen.
Petty Wop, yeah, baby.
But I had to put my pride to the side and be like, okay, so what y'all want to do? I've been trying to. The kids want to take her to Sky Zone,
Love Sky Zone.
so I'm trying to figure out a weekend where they can all get together and go to Sky Zone, just them, to jump around and have a good time or whatever. But like, you just got to get to the point where if you happy, it don't matter what's happening over there.
Right.
These kids need to see something different because being miserable and angry all the time take up too much energy.
Ooh, okay. So we got a couple good stuff here.
What you got? What you got? What you got?
A bunch of people checking in. Shout out to Paula Kelly. Shout out to Mingos. Shout out to Amy Marie.
Donna said, did Jeff
Blanchett.
make the ballot for District 4?
Jeff Durham for District 4. I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised because the District ones are 200 signatures. And the at-large ones are 500. 500, no joke. 200, I'm very certain they did.
Right.
And shout out to my homes, my sister Tashia Williams, who said we still need to abolish the ish. No, we do. We
Oh,
do.
yeah, we definitely
We still
do.
It's still FTP. It's still all of that.
Just a little FYI, Brian, I just got a cell phone call. It might be the burrito guy, so I'm going to have to slide you this cash because he's calling back again. I might have to answer this call. Okay. hold-
Look how hood we are. We taking burrito calls on the line. She
Okay,
talking
he's
to
coming.
some brother with Uber Eats. We taking Uber Eats on the show.
Listen,
y'all,
I gotta
just so you
eat.
know how real it is.
I got to eat.
Shout out to Amy, Fall River, man. Oh man, I love that town. We need to get you and Erica on here. Paula says I'm grateful to Monica. Criticize and grow. Right. Look, we got to be doing some stuff in real life. Like some of it's got to happen in real life. Julia made it. That's great. Speaking of salty politicians, what up with that Lynn politician Brian T. LaPierre coming at the GOAT?
What happened? Somebody.
Shout out to Catherine Osena. She said she was talking about the issue asked me about in the whip, the cat from Lynn.
Oh, and the disrespect that he showed Damali. So, yeah, like this dude, first off, his comments were so, I'm not even going to say racially charged. They were racist. They were disrespectful to a
Right.
whole nother level. But this goes back to what I said to you in the car, what we were talking about in regards to so men of color need to be more vocal when white men are disrespecting
Right.
women of color.
Right.
Because that's what he did. And shout out to Cal who swooped in and said a few words. But like, it's tough. And then these are men who have positions of power and
Right.
use them as
Right.
an attack.
Right.
And that's what he did to Damali. It was very disrespectful. It was in front of everybody. But thank you, Brian. Thank you.
You should be able to keep the change.
It was super, super disrespectful. But he's not the only one, because Steve Murphy did the same thing this week.
What's wrong with them right now?
It's like it's something going on with these dudes, that these white
So
dudes.
I'm gonna break down this Damali one, and then I need you to break down the Steve one, because I didn't see it yet. I'm dying to see it.
Oh yeah, I got you on this one.
So all right. So he had a disagreement. He works at a good place. I won't name them because it's a good organization. But so he had a disagreement with something that happened on the Chelsea City Council. He does this cryptic post, whatever. Damali comes on and she's like, yo, like, because it was obviously about her. She comes on, she says, listen, this is some of the stuff we want to go over. Yo, that is fire. Yoga Flame. So she goes over it. She literally writes this like nuanced post, right? Sort of
Right.
talking to him.
Right.
He shoots back, and it's like, Damali, he tags her, Damali, and he goes, blah, 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 you're a phony.
Are you serious?
That's how he started off. This is city councilor to city councilor.
Right.
Paula, thank you. I forgot. She was on a show in January. That
Who,
was your
Damali?
first show back.
Oh.
Your first show back she
Was
was
Damali.
on. Right.
Right.
Her and a homegirl.
Yep.
So no, Paula Kelly, shout out to Paula. She just said, oh, I remember she was on your show. So, okay, so then he goes on, blah, 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 you're a phony. I couldn't hold back then, right? Like, I needed to, and this dude is an incumbent city councilor. He works at a union. Like, I actually appreciate the work environment of where he's at. I'm not going to try to come after you on the job level. I don't play that game. It's a dangerous game. And I won't name them here, but I will say that your comments were extremely racist, disgusting, sexist. He goes, blah, 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 and she writes back another post. Like, she's like, you don't come at your own men like that. Talk to men like that. Like, and it's not even about on a sexist level of like, oh, women can't handle heavy combat. Dog, they've been through wars. They take it from everyone, including us. We sell them out. Y'all take it from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me, as a kid who survived DV home, don't fucking ever try to say the whole women, if they're going to be involved in politics, they need to learn how to do it hard. No, mother effer, you don't say that to other men that you're talking to.
Right.
That's where the problem comes in.
Keep that same energy.
Keep the same energy. Because if you were speaking to me like that on a different level, you just wouldn't even have the comfort. You don't speak like that to men. I've seen people come at dude when he was first running. The union guy, the progressive guy, and they were coming at him. And you didn't have none of that energy for them. It wasn't none of that smoke.
Nope.
When you get involved, there's conservative councilors in Lynn. You ain't got none of that smoke for them. There's conservative politicians. You ain't got none of that smoke for them. Racism happens in Lynn. I'm sorry. Lynn is not somehow a beacon of, it happens in Lynn, in Lowell, in Lawrence, in Boston, in Springfield. These are the same towns.
Hold on, you mean to tell me Lynn is not like super progressive?
Right, no, sorry.
Wow.
Lynn is not super progressive.
Wow.
And so this dude comes on. So then I bring up, because I was already upset. So, because he was demanding of Damali this unbelievable purity. And I was like, yo, there was a city councilor, Pete Capano, good dude, who ran for state rep last year. My guy, Hong Net, right? His name is Hong. I love them little brown Cambodians. I told you I love them little brown Cambodians. We call them negro chinitos in the Latino communities, because there are all these Cambodians from Revere, from Lynn, and from Lowell, and they're little brown kids.
Gotcha.
So he runs. The entire white establishment was with Pete Capano. They didn't give a damn that Hong was going to be the first Cambodian state rep. They didn't give a damn because Pete was the good old guy.
Right.
Now Pete's seat is open. Ward 6, Lynn City Council. The mayor appoints connected white guy Fred Hogan. Right? I mean, this guy could be Steve Murphy.
Right.
Don't you love Massachusetts? The names are all the same.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm surprised his last name ain't Flaherty. Like, the names are all the same. So
Flaherty,
he decides to appoint this guy Fred Hogan to the seat, and then this guy Fred Hogan's also going to run for the seat. So now you're appointing him and putting him in position to win re-election.
Right.
So a young Cambodian woman, brown woman, complete goddess, Cinda Don, okay, who got involved in this work as a teenager when her family was in foreclosure.
Right.
And she decided to get involved in the anti-foreclosure work as a teen. It's
Okay.
a lot to go through when you're going to college and
Right.
you find out y'all being evicted.
Right.
Foreclosures. She's running. They don't give a damn. So I pointed that out. Like, yo, man, like Cinda, Yana, because Brian's also supporting this cat. So I'm like, yo, y'all don't give a damn about diversity. You don't care about honoring people of color. You don't care about the goddess. Like, you guys are demonic.
Yep.
You're demonic. When you don't care about honoring and uplifting a goddess, but you want to go white man to white man to white man to white man, you're racist.
And
you're demonic.
I bet you his response was, "We don't need identity politics."
Ding, ding, ding. Were you there?
Hold on,
Were
guess
you
what?
there?
Guess what? Because our fellow Registry of Deeds, Steve Murphy, said the same thing online this week and then told women to close their pie holes. It was great. He was super disrespectful. And he talked to multiple women in a very disrespectful way that tried to hold him accountable, told them to close their pie holes, told them that they're focused too much on identity politics. You know, the same thing that Capuano said about Ayanna Pressley?
Right. We heard this before.
Seems to be a trend.
Look at Capuano, Capano, Hogan, Murphy. These
It's
are the
great.
same guy.
Right. And the irony to all of this is Steve Murphy is in a position that he had to do no work to get into.
Right.
Because you do absolutely nothing substantial
Right.
as the Registry of Deeds. But also, like, dude, shut up. Why are you even talking?
All the way.
Who cares? You
Shut up all the way.
just shut up. But he was super disrespectful, and I love that he's being publicly dragged. It's great. Now, do I think that that's going to be the reason for him to lose that comforting seat of Registry of Deeds? No, because this is Massachusetts. You know, it's
Although you gotta
blue.
be careful. That blew up.
It's progressive.
That blew up.
It's Massachusetts. Calvin, let me tell you something. If you ever want to know how progressive Massachusetts is, go on NBC's comment section when they put up an article about violence in the hood.
Right.
District Attorney Rollins,
Right.
or something pertaining to people of color, go read the comment section of NBC, WBZ, Fox News, Boston,
Right.
and read the comment section. It will enlighten you of how progressive. Sometimes I go on there and I troll, and I go laughing my behind off at how blue these comments are.
Yo, Catherine, I need to save that picture. You got to find it for me, please. Catherine Osena. Shout out to Catherine. Oh, remember she was shorty? She came with Adamali?
Yes,
She was from Revere.
She came to Rachel's rally.
Yes.
Yes, she helped me.
So
And-
she put out this amazing, because Brian LaPierre had a complete white meltdown where he started to call me hateful. Then he said I was pulling the race card. Then he said...
Because you don't wake up a person of color, but
Right.
okay.
Then he said I was being divisive. Then he said that in Lynn, it's actually not about identity politics in Lynn. They don't do it that way up here. So we're all caught on that identity politics in Boston. We kind of think that, you know, having one black woman finally represent Boston since its inception in Congress is kind of a big deal to us.
I mean, you know, we shouldn't have to wait 500 years. I think that, you know, maybe we should wait 150.
Such reverse racist we are. So he did all of those things. So she found some amazing picture that you'd love. I can't wait to send to you. And it was like racist bingo. And it had all the things that you could check to connect the bingo.
And let me guess,
it
he won.
Oh my, dude would have cleared the board. You'd have won $1 million, fam. He had every board, everything from calling people of color racist, tagging other people. Cause he tried to tag Marisol Santiago. Shout out to her, a brand new school committee member in
like that.
Chelsea.
That woman on your post today, the white woman on your post, when she tried to tag Black Lives Matter of Springfield, and I had them sitting in my house.
Karen Lee. Oh, I feel bad for her. I remember you called me. You're like, so Black Lives Matter Springfield is literally in my kitchen right now, wondering what the is going on
Right.
with this, and why is this white woman invoking them?
Right.
The only reason I feel bad for that is because it's almost like when you tell somebody not to do something, and then they do it, and then they jump off and fall on their face, and you almost feel a little bad.
Well, also the frustration of when you call somebody out. First off, there's been so many like white women tears in the media.
Right.
But when you call somebody out and then they go, I have a black friend, I can't be racist. It's
Right,
like,
right,
no, that's
right.
not how it works.
Well, he did that. He tagged Jordan Burke Powers. Then he tagged Marisol Santiago. Marisol was like, what you're doing is hella racist. Then he blocked her. Then he
tagged her and then
he
blocked
blocked her. He tagged her and then he blocked her. He started tagging like people of color who know him from stuff, and then they were like, you're being racist with all you're doing, and then he blocked them. Blocked me, blocked everybody. You know, we're hateful, decisive, all that stuff. But it's disgusting. So Steve Murphy is jumping out the window.
Out the window?
What did you? Who did he tell to shut his pie hole? That's wild.
So whoever the woman is, I think Young Jerks is having her on as a guest if they haven't had her already.
Who did he tell to shut his pie hole from the Jerks?
I
That the
forget
Jerks is
who the
talking
woman is, but I know that Mike Crawford got her. Either she's coming on or she came on, and
He better
Yeah,
not
I think
have said
she's
that about
coming on.
Shalene.
No, it
Better
wasn't
not
about
be
Shalene.
Shalene.
It was
We'll
not.
choke you to death out here.
no, it wasn't Shalene.
I think her first name was Nancy. Is Nancy?
Yeah, I think it's Nancy something. I gotta get her name, but he
Playing this
he
game,
went.
I want to.
He was so disrespectful. Like 2 or 3 other women jumped in to kind of like, you know, explain to him what this woman was trying to say, and he was disrespectful to them too. Like, oh, shut up, shut your pie holes, all this identity politics. He was just so disrespectful.
He hates it.
And so rude and ignorant. I'm like, be careful, bruh. Your racism is showing.
Right.
Like, be careful. It's
Right.
seeping out. You can't hide it anymore.
Right.
But from what I read in, I don't know if it was the Herald or the Globe. From what I read, there was somebody who was a city council member from back in the day that he supported that like croaked
Dapper.
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 That was heavy
Hardcore
racist.
Yes, segregationist, open
and
segregationist.
They published Steve Murphy's comments and Dapper's comments from when he was in office and how
Right.
they felt about black folks
Right.
and how he said he was never going to attend the St. Patrick's Day parade ever
Right.
again because
Right.
they allowed gay people there.
Right.
Very homophobic.
Right.
Very triggering.
He used to bring a gun to City Hall.
Yeah.
He even shot a man on the street. Saw somebody like committing a robbery, and turned around the corner, shot dude dead.
Yeah. Like, so that's Steve Murphy's homeboy.
Right. Right. Steve Murphy was Dapper's driver. And like the next election, Dapper ran him. That's what they do, these white guys. That's what they're trying to do in Lynn. That's what they do. And in Revere, we'll talk about Dimple in a second. That's what they try to do. They try to run white guy after white guy after white guy.
Right.
And it's all okay because they're all lifting each other up. And the second we try to insert ourselves and be like, damn, can we get a black person? They're like, oh, reverse racist.
Yeah.
Hateful, divisive.
So that's Steve Murphy. He's sitting somewhere. His face is red. He removed the post, but then put up this whack apology that wasn't an apology. It was like, sorry, you suck type of apology.
Sorry, you're upset that I told you to shut your fucking pie hole.
Basically, that's what it was. And it's like, dude, that's not how this works, right? And I had a conversation with somebody recently because I'm like, you know, when people hear Black Lives Matter, everybody gets their underwear in a bunch. And it's like, dude, all we said is that we matter.
Right.
We didn't say we matter more.
Right.
We didn't say we matter less.
Right.
We just said, stop killing us. We matter.
Right.
And you're angry?
Right.
You need to
Right.
reevaluate your values.
Right.
Like, you suck.
Something happened to somebody the other day. They're like they hurt their knee, and I was like, what about like all knees matter though? Like what's the matter with
So
you?
listen, Michael Shea,
Right.
have you watched his special?
I love that special. I saw the clip. I didn't see the special, but I saw that clip and I love
So
it.
can I tell you, me and Clark are getting that put on a T-shirt when he's like, "You're like slavery. Oh, that was 400 years ago. What you still focused on that for?" And we're like, police shootings. Oh, that was 2 weeks ago. What are you still? You really? You still
Right.
talking about that?
Right,
We
right.
gave you Black History Month.
Right.
And then 9/11. Never forget. And he's
Right.
like. He's like, word? He
Right.
was like, so he was like, when he was like, they don't tell you that black lives don't matter. They use semantics like all lives matter. And he said what he used as an example was like, it's like if your wife tell you, hey babe, do you love me? And you go, what do you mean? I love everybody.
All women matter. Oh God.
So he said, he's like, yo, this September, I'm gonna get
Julia, call in. Sorry.
this September, I'm gonna get me a shirt and it's gonna say all buildings matter.
Right. All skyscrapers matter.
Yo, but it be like that. It's bananas. It's
Oh,
bananas. And somebody
God.
will say it's hate speech. The T-shirt is gonna be hate speech
Right.
because you know
you're
how
gonna be
that
on
goes.
Facebook jail. You're on Facebook jail.
Yo,
fam.
I'm in Facebook jail. So shout out to people who have been in my inbox cussing me out for not responding to them and sending me paragraphs and then wondering why I'm not responding without asking the question, man, is she man? There's one of my allies who is at MCI Concord who's messaging me. Shout out to Mac. But like, Mac, I see your messages. I can't respond to you, and you won't accept the friend request from the other page. So I see you guys' messages, but I cannot respond. I'm in Facebook jail. They stay locking up the kid. And just so people know, I'm in Facebook jail because I put up a Malcolm X quote talking about coons and Negroes. And they weren't happy about it. I was like, I'm black, talking about black folks. They're like, so yeah, we don't care. So I'm in Facebook jail doing this bid. But shout out to everybody who's been supporting me. You want to put some money on my book so I can get some Slim Jims and some oodles and noodles? It's PayPal .me/mcannon617. Shoot me them coins until I get out of Facebook jail. What's up, Lisa?
Shout
I
out to
see
Lisa.
you.
So Catherine said, did y'all hear Yana on the floor? It's true. I haven't heard it. Have you heard this?
Yes, I shared the video
Was it
and I've heard
everything?
it. Can I just tell you, shout out to my Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley who ate Ben Carson's face
Right.
on the floor, and Maxine Waters high-fived her while she did it. Like, so you will let the gentle lady reclaim her time. Yo, when I tell you it was everything, it was everything.
That's why they going crazy.
Listen, she was questioning him. She was like, she asked the question. She said yes or no. And he got ready to say something. She said yes or no.
Right.
And he said something. And the video's on my Twitter. First off, can you get on Twitter? Can you be a whole adult?
Damn it, man. Adult. It's the young kids on Twitter.
Everybody's on Twitter except for Calvin.
Damn it. I can't understand it. Like, if you could just show me.
Yes, I gotta show you. But like, she got on there, and she was like, I'm reclaiming my time, and you will answer the question. And he got ready to say something, and then he goes, I'm reclaiming my time, and she was like, you don't get to do that. And Maxine Waters jumped in like, the gentle lady will reclaim her time. Like,
I love it.
Yo, it was just so
love
amazing. It was so
That's
amazing.
why all these white guys are leaving the Boston City Council, because it's not fun with black women around.
Listen,
this is like less fun of a time.
I've never seen so many men give up their seat. Has this ever happened before?
I've never seen anything like this. 3 district councilors
Are leaving.
gone.
They're like, it's too many minorities. We can't deal.
It's not fun. It's not the good old days. It's not the good old days.
Right. I love it.
Good old days
It's
of
great.
good old
I'm
boys.
smiling. We're good.
So those Nazis are still coming for Dimple's life.
Are you serious?
Yep. Trying to get her fired. They got. I feel so bad. Her and Vonnie Hoop got written up.
Are
for
you
being on our
serious?
show. They got written up, and they got written up so they couldn't find nothing. They were calling a racist guy, George Rotundo. Think about these names: Steve Murphy, George Rotundo, Brian LaPierre. These are all the same person. Some of them are progressive but still racist, right?
Right.
Like, so they were calling this racist city council racist, and they tried to get him for that, but they couldn't legally, I guess. So they got him for swearing on the show.
Are you serious?
They must have like each said a curse.
Are you serious?
I don't even remember the curse, but like they must have both cursed, and they were like, "Well, you said shit on a radio show, and that disrespects the city.
Are you
Makes the
serious?
city look bad." Wrote them both up.
Wow.
The city wrote them both up,
What city is this?
trying to fire him. Revere,
Shout out to Revere.
so close to Boston. Why aren't you as progressive as we are?
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Steve Murphy represents both because Revere is in Suffolk County, and he's a Suffolk County deeds guy. Oh, there's a synergy. We're bringing synergy
now,
in the racism.
Now, do you understand why they're never going to let me in the state house? Do you understand
I
that?
might have to kick in the door or two, but yes.
Listen, I'll kick in the door. I can Biggie Smalls and wave in the
Yeah.
4-4, you know.
Yeah.
Metaphorically.
Oh,
Metaphorically.
metaphorically.
I don't need no state troopers at my house.
We gonna be in Facebook jail. Yo, why is Monica on an anniversary Facebook jail right around Mama's Day?
Because I was in jail last year at the same time. It's so bad.
How you the thug that's like always in jail for this moment?
Because I'm a black extremist.
Black I did. That's what Catherine brought up. Because
So I ran a test. I had a bunch of people post what I post to see if they got banned.
Right.
They got warnings, but like my
I
daughter.
saw Pap got a warning.
Yeah, but my daughters posted it and nothing happened to them. A couple
Right.
people posted it, nothing happened to them. I'm telling you, there's algorithms that are like, when Monica says X, Y, and Z,
Right.
get her.
You know what was even less? The most egregious one that you got was the Meek Mill one.
Yo,
Because that wasn't even vulgar. It didn't use words like coon. Like it wasn't. It was so unbelievable.
and it said lyrics. I woke up listening to this.
Right.
I had the quotes, and then I cited Meek Mill at the bottom.
I've done it a million times. I put Kendrick's whole post on the end of King's Dead, where he's like, "Fuck integrity, fuck your," you know what I mean? When
Yeah.
he's wilding out, he says, "I all hail King, kill Monga."
Right.
And I've never gotten flagged ever.
I'm a black extremist, Calvin.
A black identity extremist,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
a gender identity extremist.
Oh.
You're like the leader of multiple terrorist groups
They
in
on
America.
my back. And you want to know the crazy part? We laughing, but I'm so serious. Like, I go through it.
Right. Well, what's not funny about it is, and this is what Catherine was saying, was the point is that AP was saying that in connection with like y'all putting people at risk, and to shout out again because she deserves the credit for being a pig of a bowl of mayonnaise. Is Susan Mortier, whatever her last name was.
Yeah, the one who got Diddy doxxed.
Right.
Because
And then they hit her back, and then she got Didi blocked.
because
got
she was
Didi
saying
banned.
some very dangerous stuff about
Right.
me on Facebook, and
Right.
Didi went on to defend me and did to her what she did to me, and Didi
Right.
got blocked, but this woman didn't get blocked.
Right.
She was literally
White woman from Arlington, and they just came together. It was like 500 people in a center came together to reject anti-Semitism in Arlington because some synagogues had gotten like sprayed up or something like that. And that same woman that would be at that,
Oh yeah, definitely got on social media. Never met this woman a day in my life, but she was adamant that I was working with the police. And I'm like, do you know that there are people who lose their life every day for that
all because
accusation?
she saw a former employee at Roca.
Right. But this is the other piece. But then you have individuals, and I'm going to say it, and listen, there's going to be some people that's mad. You have individuals like Deco Jabril who get awards from the FBI that don't
Right.
catch heat like I'm catching.
Right.
Like, and in the article, it literally says she's guiding anti-terrorism officers through Roxbury.
Yo, so Mo can't even have a conversation with Marty about some productive stuff about like trying to get something done. You can't even talk to the man because somehow that's wrong, and inside and she can get awards from the feds.
The FBI.
Okay.
And not just get an award. She got the award. She received grant funding. They flew her to Washington, D.C. to honor her.
Right.
It was great.
That's wild.
By anti-terrorism officers. People lose their life every day. Not for nothing. What's his name? Al Sharpton. They just released that he's an informant.
Right.
People lose their life every day for that very thing. And while y'all are tracking my social media, you got people who are in your face like, yes, working with the feds and the
Right,
police.
right.
Take this picture. Cheese.
Right. Joint Terrorism Task Force.
And it's like, yo, she's loved. And it's not that we should not love her. It's we should not trust her.
Right.
Just because you led the... And this is the thing. You put so many people at risk. Also, what I found out is in order to receive funding from them, you have to give them something.
I mean, right? It's like in order to
So
get a
then my
shorter
question-
time sentence.
So my question is, who and what was given
What did they hear?
in order to receive?
Right.
It's a dangerous game when you're in a community of people who may be illegal, people who may have fled to this country because it was
Right.
a bad situation in Somalia at one
Right,
point.
right.
And when you think about that, it's like, wow, like you got your people trusting you and you're leading them to destruction because they're trying to make sure that you guys are not radicalized. But the truth is you got to give them something.
Right.
So what was given in
What'd you give 'em?
exchange? That's
What'd you
dangerous.
tell them? What'd you tell them?
That's dangerous for a black activist. But the other piece is something we talked about on the show where people really couldn't see, which is why I'm bringing it up again.
Yeah.
Is because, you know, a lot of other countries that are black people but don't consider themselves black people don't understand what black activists go through.
Right.
So by her doing that, she will never understand what somebody like myself or activists that are with Black Lives, the movement for Black Lives and Black Lives Matter, she will never understand what those activists go through by doing what she did.
Right.
Like, we have black activists down south, Atlanta, Georgia, and North Carolina, Florida, all across this.
Ferguson, like three
Yeah.
of them dropped over there.
Ferguson, where their kids are being hung from trees.
Right.
They're being killed with no explanation, and they're lying and
Well,
calling it suicide.
Well, see, because you're a black identity extremist, I guess you change it in that way. But according to the police, the kid
What did you just
cuffed
say?
himself.
He cuffed himself and
and
hung
hung
himself from the
himself.
tree. Shut up,
That
Calvin.
happens sometimes, I guess. I don't know.
And
But no, remember they tried to say it was a suicide, and it's like that don't look. I mean, that looked
not
crazy,
for nothing,
fam.
and you hung him in his mother's backyard from
Right.
the tree. So when she come home, she sees her child
Right.
hanging from a tree,
Oh,
and like there are black activists popping up in cars dead with no explanation. So the fact that you had the audacity to reach out to the FBI, according to this article, she reached out to them, invite anti-terrorists into Roxbury of all places, which is the most people of color populated portion of the city, and guiding them around the community claiming to build trust is disrespectful to everything that I lay my life down for.
Right.
And I will never ever engage you in a way that's going to jeopardize my life. It's just not going to happen. But you're so out of touch and so far removed from what it looks like to be me that you thought that that was okay.
Right.
And that's the problem. And it's like, this is why I say I'm so tired as a black woman of asking to stand in solidarity with people who never take the time to understand what it means to stand in solidarity with me. Because if you understood, you wouldn't have did that.
Right.
But as black women, we get asked to stand in solidarity with multiple different movements, multiple different cultures, people of color, non-black people of color. And it's like, they wouldn't hesitate to hang us
Right.
at the drop of a dime.
Right.
And it's exhausting. And God forbid that you decide you don't want to stand in solidarity because you're exhausted because you don't get that support. Then
Right.
you're divisive.
Right.
You're not showing up. And it's like, nah, you just did something that could get me and my family killed. Do you know what it's like, Calvin, to come out your house and see a white supremacist sitting at the corner of your street? Or to get those death threats? I still have those recordings from when I led that march. And the dude was calling my phone, talking about killing me.
Die slowly.
Right.
Oh, damn, y'all are
The
ill.
other message was like, if Black lives truly matter, then you should value yours because we're going to do X, Y, and Z. And having
Right.
to prevent my kids from hearing those messages, because had they heard those messages, they wouldn't have wanted me to go to that march.
Right.
They still don't want me to do this work the way that I do this work. So
Right.
I don't not only have people of color that's coming after my throat, I got white folks that want me dead. So like, for you to walk anti-terrorism officers through Roxbury, yo.
Through the hood. No, that's
It's
wild,
like,
man.
Bless you, man. But I can't deal with you.
Yo, shout out to my homegirl Yolanda Cancel in Springfield.
Why do I know that name?
Black and Latina woman. You probably know her. She's from the Bean. She black and Latina, black and Puerto Rican. She grew up here, but lives in Springfield the last, I think, 11, 12 years or something like that. So she's been an activist. She ran for city council. Like, she's sort of been involved. Y'all might have been in the merge together somehow. Like, you know, you definitely know her somehow. And her son was shot on Saturday night.
Wow, is he
Her son was
okay?
shot. Yeah, he's okay. But he's hurt up, man. It's hard, man. Shout out to Thomas, man. Hope you're doing well.
Wow.
But it's really scary stuff. And, you know, so she now, with only a week to even turn in papers, no one was running against the Springfield mayor, Dominic Sarno. We call him Mayor Trump and Baby Trump because he's like super conservative, racist white dude. No one was running against him. He was going to get his last pass. He probably was going to be fine. Her kid got hit Saturday. She was like, you know what? Pull papers on Monday. She has a week to turn them in. People helping all over Springfield. If you live in Springfield and you're registered to vote, please find Yolanda Cancel, sign her papers. She's got a week to go. They're due, I think, this Monday, and she's going hard, Joe.
Yo, shout out
Baby
to
got
Yolanda
shot, yo.
Cancel, man. Y'all support her. I'm telling you, like, you see, Trayvon's mother is now running.
Right.
Michael
Shout out-
Brown's mother ran.
Shout out to the punk ass Bernie bros. You know I be looking for a reason to slander them. Some of them are slandering her, especially because I hate that they use this pick because I knew people would come for her. But in the primary, her and a bunch of other mamas of black kids that were killed endorsed Hillary Clinton, and they were rocking with her, and she had a whole point plan on demilitarizing police officers and changing and accountability, requiring the vest, requiring the body cam. She had a whole plan, and they dragged her, they drug her. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I hate some of you little white suburban punk ass white boys that decide to slander her for supporting Hillary Clinton, and your parents are racist in whatever little suburban town you came from in suburban America.
Well,
and then
my
you come
thing
to
is with
Boston
the
and tell
Bernie
us we're
Sanders
wrong.
is every time you get ready to bring up something problematic that he said, it's, oh, well, he was in the civil rights movement.
Right.
But also he's against reparations.
Right.
Like,
Right.
he took a picture the other day with a black guy who's a restaurant owner with a piece of fried chicken in his hand, and I'm like, here we go.
Disgusting.
It,
yo.
like, I'm tired of,
disgusting.
we're supposed to love the white guy because he stood next to a black person. Great.
Right.
He's like,
Right. And yeah, you know what? He was in the civil rights movement. You know what he also was? He was moved as a very young child out of I think Brooklyn, because his parents were like, we're not about to raise our kid here.
But
and they moved
also,
him
I need people to
Vermont.
understand that, like, for me, I don't care. I also don't care about Kamala Harris. Like,
Right.
I don't care.
Right.
Like,
Right.
so
Right.
it's not like, oh, you know, they try to create this narrative of identity politics. I'm not voting for Kamala.
Right.
Like,
No way.
yes, she has a lot of good quotes, and now she's changed her mind. But before she only changed her mind because she's running. She's been tearing our community up
she
with
getting
mass incarceration.
dragged.
Right. You've been tearing our community up with mass incarceration. And I know she went to the HBCU, but did anybody tell her she was black?
She also went to APAC. She also went to like the Nazis.
she also didn't believe she had to care about black parents
Right.
and was willing to incarcerate them
Right.
for situations where she should have been trying to figure out what's happening to cause this. Nobody wants to go to the source. When people talk about crabs in a barrel, who created the barrel?
Right.
Like, let's have that conversation.
Right.
Because that's not their natural habitat. Like, nah.
So you'd be like, them dumb crabs, man, why they here? They
Right.
probably got themselves here. Why they pulling at each other?
So,
and
like,
who,
nah.
who brought that barrel there?
right, who put them in the barrel to begin with? So hard pass on Kamala, not voting for Bernie. I will say that, like, you know, it is what it is.
Homie E-Dubs is
I'm not-
working out here.
I'm not voting for Cory Booker. Those
No
are
way.
hard
Oh my
passes.
God,
Joe
no way.
Biden can kick rocks with open toe
way.
shoes
Right,
on.
right.
And that's mainly because, like, he's trying to do the kumbaya stuff because he done said a lot of and did a lot of problematic stuff. And it's like,
Right.
dude, nah, you're not about to kumbaya your way talking about let's work with the it ain't the Republicans, it's just Trump. Nah, cuz nope, sorry. Hard pass. No thanks.
The man Anita Hill, what's up with that?
Right.
Right in the crime bill. You know what gets me mad? The way we hold women accountable. Like Hillary Clinton got slammed for supporting the 94 crime bill in the press
Right.
because she was supporting her husband. And the dude that voted for it, Bernie Sanders, got no flack. They got a whole lie for him. Oh, well, he likes some of it, not all of it, so you can't hold him to it. And Joe Biden wrote it. So the two old white guys that voted for it and that wrote the shit gets no credit, but the
But
woman
that-
supported her man and
Hold on.
talking about it.
Hold on,
is
but
trash.
that's just like what's happening right now around abortion. A white woman wrote it, A white woman signed it into law.
Right.
But y'all want to put up a bunch of pictures of white men in office. Listen, at the end of the day, it was 2 white women,
Right.
right,
Right.
who wrote it and signed it into law.
Right.
But all
A
white
couple of
men,
them got mad at me for my meme where I posted that thing that it was like, I said it like my best Jerry Maguire voice, help us help you. Dear Becky, like help us help you.
Right.
Like 53% of y'all voted for Trump after he talked about grabbing you and after he was accused of assault. That pedophile dude, the dude that's going to run against Doug Jones again that lost in Alabama,
Yeah.
he lost by nothing, first of all. And then he got 99% of black women voted against this dude.
Right.
And 91% of black men. So when AR-15, Angela Rye, shout out to Angela Rye, the goddess, she went on the Breakfast Club and she was like, yo, black women did that. And Charlamagne got mad in classic man fashion, even though sometimes I love him. In classic man fashion, he got mad like, no, why you got to leave out black men? Black men almost... And it's true, black men went against him 91%. But let me ask a question. The fuck were y'all 9% thinking? Why were black men 4 times more likely than black women to vote for a pedophile,
Right.
white racist pedophile?
right.
I get that
Right.
91% of y'all are cool. I get it. But think about what that means when 99% of black women say no to the racist pedophile who literally is documented
It's
to have
10%
raped
of y'all like, nah.
9% of y'all.
Nah.
9 times. Women are 1%, men are 9%. Black men 9%, black women 1%. How are we almost 10 times more than our ladies to do that?
Because it's also the situation that when we're being attacked, nobody jumps in, but then they'll come to you and be like, so Queen, you need to try to talk to him and make it
Right,
right. Like,
right.
don't come to me. Don't come
Right.
to, did you go to him? Don't come to me.
And shout out to you and Quetta because y'all have been the ones pushing that in Boston for a couple years now. Y'all been the ones really pushing and holding us accountable, and I think it's right for us to be pushed on it that we don't speak up for y'all.
At all.
We don't.
At all.
We don't.
At all. And we sit and get attacked. Listen, you seen it happen with Liz.
Right.
You seen it happen with a
right.
bunch of different people. And it's just like, so nah. So nah.
All of them.
But
of them.
also, I want to go back to this abortion thing because one of the
Right,
things
right.
that's been my pet peeve is that there's so many white women who are like, this is women's right. I see you put up the Tupac thing where they remix the verbiage to quote Tupac. It's so annoying. But you want to know what annoys me the most about this whole discussion around abortion? How long we've been posting articles about the black women maternity
Right.
rate and us dying while giving birth and
Right.
us not having access. We've been posting about this for I don't know how long. There's been seminars. I've been invited to workshops and discussions. No outrage. No white woman outrage. The moment it starts to affect Lil Becky, who may get pregnant by Tyrone and got to bring that baby home, now everybody mad.
Right. It was what's crazy is that they don't care about black women's babies dying.
Nope.
They don't care about black women the mortality rate.
Nope.
They want you to be able to have an abortion but not able to be having a safe birth.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And they don't want to take care of the baby once it's here.
That's
you
demonic.
You can't get on welfare, don't you? Why you can't take care of that baby yourself?
Right.
What you mean you need help?
Right. One of my mans posted the other day, they were like, shush, because you see Alabama refused to post that author show. Did you see
Yeah.
that controversy?
Yeah.
So there was a same-sex couple, which I'm about. I have a kid who's 7 years old. You know what? I don't prefer him to be heterosexual. I don't even prefer him to stay him.
Right.
Okay? And, but, yo, like, I would let him watch that. I'm down with that. We brought them to an event they did in Worcester. They were having drag queens read books to kids.
Which
I
is
thought it
so
was
dope.
fire. I was like, yo, bringing the boys to that. Like, they got to see that. You know, those are crazy conversations
Yes.
that went after that. Right?
But it's necessary.
That's necessary. We got to do that. So shout out to that. So they were like, oh, I don't want it because it's a bad thing on the kids. So somebody posted this like cartoon. It was like, hey, don't put Arthur on. I don't want it to offend and to hurt the feelings of the babies in cages.
What?
You feel me? Like, they were saying it as a joke. They were like, hey, because that's what they use as an argument for Arthur. They were like, that's not appropriate for children to watch or hear. And it's like, which kids? The kids in cages? Or when Rashida Tlaib from Michigan, when she was like, we're going to impeach the motherfucker, and Republicans were like, how dare she say mother effer? How dare a congresswoman?
Oh,
And
you
it was
mean
like,
the dude that's grabbing vaginas?
Right. They were like, how dare she? And she was like, and people were saying it. People were like, yeah, don't say mother effer. We wouldn't want the, little kids in cages to hear that.
Right.
Like,
It's so disgusting. I just need there not to be the white woman outrage, the selective outrage, I should say.
Becky Rage.
Like,
Becky Rage.
you got the selective outrage and then you have the selective tears.
Right.
And The white women tears are dangerous as fuck, might I add. But like,
I love this. There's a meme of a black woman that has a sign. Oh no, a white woman that has a sign that says, "If Hillary would have won, we'd all be going to brunch." Like all these problems will still be in the black and Latino communities and
Right.
the poor communities, but like if Hillary would have just won, we'd be at brunch. Like a part of them are mad.
did you see
'cause-
Colin Kaepernick's
what?
girl come for that girl?
No, what happened?
Oh, so you got to watch this video. So the girl put up a post on Facebook talking about Trump's employment rate is so high that even Colin Kaepernick has a job. And she worked with this woman or whatever on this show called
Yo.
Teen Mom or something to that effect. I don't know.
Okay.
Or they were in community with each other somehow, some way. Colin Kaepernick's girl gets on there and goes, "So I would have rather you come to me and ask me questions and had a discussion about what my man was doing than to put that post up and be uneducated about what you were posting." She dug into this girl. The girl looks at her and goes, "I don't even know your man." And then the tears start. She jumps up and goes, "I didn't even want to be here. This is why I didn't want to show up, because you're attacking me, and I don't even know your man." And it's like, so though that right there, that's dangerous. That's dangerous.
That'll get us
'Cause
killed.
As soon as you start crying, then we're
Right.
the angry black woman.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you something. I pray to God. I thank God for grace. I thank God for my kids, because that will make me drag you and just eat the angry black woman cliche. I'm
Right.
just gonna drag
Right. I'll
you
be that.
and I'm gonna eat the charge.
Right.
Like,
Word
it's
to
just-
Red Man. Will be that.
Right.
I'll be that. I'll be that.
And so, like, that's the part that's frustrating me around this abortion conversation. I've been seeing so many white women put up posts, and they're like, "So this is an attack on women's bodies, and if you think that this is okay, then screw you." And they wearing these little red robes with the white hats, and it's like, black women are dying while trying to give birth.
Right.
Black women are dying while being pregnant.
Right.
Like, black women are dying just to be treated like a human being by medical officials. We're not
Right.
even being told about care. I had my own experience with CJ. I had to have an emergency C-section. I had a bad experience with how I was being treated by the people who were doing my ultrasound and how they were talking to me. I filed a formal complaint. And after I gave birth, I had one of the most horrible experiences with this racist white nurse, who was the nurse that watched the babies in the nursery. And so I had took my medication and I had went to get ready to go to sleep. And so my nurse was like, "Bring the baby to the nursery because we don't want you to be holding him under the medication."
Right.
And so I'm like, okay. So she took the baby to the nursery. I took my medication. I was going to go to sleep until Clark came back with the other kids. And I remember, like, maybe an hour after, not even an hour, a few minutes after he was gone, I got woke out of my sleep by hearing this metal and plastic hit the wall. She was bringing my baby in, but she was pushing the bed, and he kept hitting the wall back and forth. And she was like, "Here, take your baby." He keeps hollering, and she said, "Take your boy." He keeps hollering, and he won't shut up, and I don't know what's wrong with him. And I'm waking up half intoxicated off the medication, and I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, "What do you mean? The nurse just said I could bring him to the nursery because I took my medication." She was like, "Well, I don't know what's wrong with him, and I can't keep trying." My baby's screaming, crying. He's not wrapped in a blanket. Come to find out, my baby's cold and hungry. I don't know if she's hurt him. I don't know what happened. Calvin, I ain't never put out a roll call so fast in all the days of my life. I called my husband, I called my mama, and I called CJ's godmother. I said, "Let me explain something to y'all. Y'all got 2 minutes to get to this hospital before I catch this case."
Right.
Clark, I don't know if he ran red lights and ran people over. He was at the hospital in no time. My best friend, CJ's godmother, was
Both.
out to dinner.
Both.
She was coming from Dedham. I don't know how she made it there that quick. Come to find out, they end up letting the woman go, but she was racist. And I didn't know if she had abused my baby or what. Then she's like, after she's seen that she had angered me, she's like, "Do you want me to take him back to the nursery?" I said, "I wouldn't leave you with my dog." So long story short, we ended up meeting with the head of the hospital and the head of nursing and everything, and they took care of the situation. But I'm like, she should have never been, so she's getting ready to retire, so she don't care. She should have never been working with anybody's black and brown kids to begin with.
Right.
But Calvin, when I tell you, Clark's in the hallway recording, trying to figure out who she is. My homegirl's trying to lay her out. Like, what does she look like?
Right. Right.
They hit her. They snatched her off the floor immediately. They took her, swooped her away, or whatever. She ended up getting let go. Thank God. But for me to be who I am and go through that, right? And the reason why I say that is because All of the nurses know who I am. They follow me on social media. I can't even go to the doctor's appointment, and they're like, "You're Monica Cannon from on Facebook," right? Right? So that's why I say, for me to be who I am and go through that, I can only imagine.
Right.
I can only imagine
Right.
the mother who's timid,
Right.
who's not outspoken, who can't advocate for themselves.
Right.
Another nurse came to me and was like, "You're not the first one she did this to. You're just the only one to fight back." I made sure I fought like hell so she didn't have a job. You won't do that to no other black woman. You won't do that to no. I'm gonna tell you, Calvin. I blacked out when she called my baby boy. Take your boy. Who you calling boy? He got a name. It's on his bed.
Remember I said during this whole debate that we were having last year about the nurse question, I was saying that there's this racial tension. People don't realize it. There's a lot of racial tension between the nurses. It ain't like Monica from Roxbury. It's Donna from Canton, and she ain't cool,
Listen,
fam.
that
She
boy
ain't
shit will get your
cool.
jaw knocked loose. She better be thankful for Percocet. She better be thankful for Percocet, because I was high as hell. Because I had stitches. I didn't have feeling in my legs because I had a C-section. So I had, them airbags they put on your legs, Cal, until you learn how to walk again. But I knew how to dial my mama. I called my husband. I called my mother. I called my best friend. Get here now. Yo.
Don't have mama pull up with the church crew.
Oh, so let
They
me tell you
jump out
something
in them
about my
orange
mother.
dresses with them big hats. They'll come for your life.
Listen,
quick.
let me tell you something about my mother. My mother will recite you every book in the Bible. Touch one of her kids.
Right,
She'd be like, "Jesus, give me 5 minutes."
right.
Yo, I went to the left.
But shout out to the white women fighting for us to have the ability to abort said child, but don't want to care for said child because they're crying.
Right.
Something must be wrong with an infant crying.
Then the other nurse was like, she tried to make it seem like my baby was bad. He's 4 days old. How's he bad? The nurse was like, "I don't know what she's talking about. Your baby never cries." She had to irritate him, or he felt her energy or whatever. He was cold, so I had to rewrap him in the blanket, put his clothes on him, give him a warm bottle. But like, what did you do? Don't lose your life.
Right.
But like, it just goes to show, like, yo, this is why we have trust issues. I don't trust them. And as much as I be wanting to trust them, it's so hard to trust them because I done been screwed too many times.
Right. I want to say quick shout out to my homie, my little sister, really, Ayo Kiki, Kiera, who works with Horace now, and her mom. I always say that, like I was telling her last night, that her mom and her boss are basically like my political mom and dad. Her mom's Alma Feliciano. And we always said that was like my mom, my political organizing mama, because we have the same last name.
Right.
And then she now works at Union of Minority Neighborhoods with Horace. Shout out to Horace. That's always been like my political papa. And they're doing a performance. They're doing a show. It's called Performance with a Purpose. It's a talent showcase. It's June 28th. It's at the Perkins Community Center, Lee School Auditorium. Doors open at 5:30. Shows at 6. It is free. And if you need information, it's lanegra92@gmail. The E in La Negra in Spanish is the black girl, and that's what she is, right?
Okay.
She's a black woman raised by her Puerto Rican mama, and so it's La Negra 92, but the E is a 3, so it's LAN3GRA92@gmail. They're gonna do a dope event June 28th. I'm gonna be I'm most likely gonna be at a men's retreat, so I won't be able to be there, but we'll definitely blast it a ton.
Also, this Saturday, Books and Breakfast.
Hey.
It'll be at Leland Park Development Corp,
Ooh.
150 American Legion Highway. Shout out to Catherine over at Leland Park who made this happen. We've been doing them all across the city. The first one was in Roxbury. The second one was at Northeastern Crossing over across from Ruggles Street. We did Cambridge Community Center. This week we'll be at Leland Park doing Books and Breakfast. You get free hot breakfast. And we have a local black author come in, read their book. We provide the book to young people for free, and you get to network and talk to families. This week's author is Stacy Sennett. She wrote a book called Auntie's Lullaby, and it's about the relationship between aunties and their nieces. Dope black woman. Last week we had an author come on, and he wrote a book about Stay Safe Akeem, and it was about being a black kid and being a black boy, and people consistently telling you to stay safe while having to go through situations that aren't safe.
Right.
And it's been amazing. Our first author was B. Marie, and she had wrote a book about Tulsa, but she wrote it for kids.
Black
it was
Wall
a
Street.
Black Wall Street.
I need
it's
to get
amazing. All of these books are on the Books and Breakfast gift list that I created, the Amazon link. It'll be in the Facebook invite that I'll drop
Good.
after this.
So we can go there and order it, those
You can
books?
go and order each book I put on the Books and Breakfast list so that people have the opportunity to order the books, read the books, buy them for your kids. This week will be Stacey Sennett, Auntie's Lullaby, Books and Breakfast, Black Lives Matter Cambridge, Black Lives Matter Boston, Violence in Boston coming together, doing this on Saturday mornings from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. If we don't educate our kids, then we leave them susceptible to be educated by the latter, and we
Right.
cannot complain. And so
Right.
we're trying to, while critiquing the issue, solve the problem.
I say this for everybody, but especially for Black and Latino parents. Don't let school get in the way of your kids' education.
Absolutely.
Don't let school get in the way of your kids' education. The last thing I want to wrap up, not last thing, but that keep your head up thing was funny.
Oh,
I
but
created a
Tupac.
stir. So the millennials, it used to be Millennials for Revolution. They changed the name of the group to Millennials for Bernie. It annoys me because they have great memes and I love using them sometimes. But the name changed. But they posted a post and it's a placard and it has a painting on it. And it's the Tupac verse.
Oh, I seen it.
And it's the, we all came from a woman. So something stood out to me mad quick that they did the, I wonder why we kill our women. It's time to heal our women. Be real to our women. And they did it reverse.
Yeah,
So
they flipped
did
it.
like, be real to our women. Time to heal our women. Like, and I'm like, this doesn't sound right because I wanted to read it. And I'm like, something's off in this. And I'm like, and I try to read it. I'm like, that doesn't even, like, how could you not want to read it and see that it doesn't even rhyme with the, like, it doesn't flow right?
But also, it's black men talking to black women, so appropriation much?
Right. So they put it on there and they didn't even know what the problem was. So they literally got thousands of views and likes and all this stuff. But people of color
Aw.
were mad, being like, yo, you messed up the lyrics.
Also, do you see this new movement
my
happening
God.
because of the abortion thing that's going around, the abortion ban?
No
I should-
sex?
No,
Oh.
this Aunties Network, and they're saying that the new what is it? The new oh God, Harriet Tubman.
Uh-huh.
Harriet Tubman, talk to me.
Harriet
Oh,
Tubman.
the new Underground Railroad.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
they took the abortion ban and turned it into a movement. White women did, and they're calling it
Oh
the
my
new
God.
Underground Railroad.
Oh,
And then
that's
they started another
disgusting.
one called the Aunties Network, and black activists, black women, black femme activists have been shutting them down. So like, dude, auntie is our
What in the
word.
fucking mayonnaise pizza is going on here?
And like this whole new Underground Railroad movement, are you kidding me?
You know what? That's sick. That's disgusting.
Yo, and they've created a whole movement page. They're gonna turn it into a nonprofit.
How you got a mayonnaise pie out here?
Hold on, they're gonna turn it into a nonprofit like the Pantsuit Nation heifers.
Right.
Watch.
Right.
It's so disgusting.
And be collecting money. The same people that won't give $100 to violence in Boston will be giving $100,000.
You want to talk
to
about
this
appropriation?
organization.
You can never compare
Oh,
that to the Underground Railroad.
shit.
Really? And this Aunties Network, you can't be my auntie. You don't even know what that looks like.
The only auntie we acknowledging is Maxine.
Yes, sir.
Don't come at us with that bullshit.
Yes, sir.
I got a quick sounds about white.
Go ahead.
2 instances. One in Texas. Did you see the one that my cousin Sasha tagged us on? The
Which one?
Texas cat. Black dude in Texas. And I'm glad you said a term that I liked earlier. And it's funny. I'm sometimes on two sides of this issue. 'Cause I think I'm always on the right side.
Mm-hmm.
But if I do say so myself. But you said non-black POC.
Yeah.
Now, in the urban areas, sometimes it's different. Latinos, though, even with Latinos, Asians get to do this a lot. Shout out to Kendrick when he had that song, when he was like, Mexicans, they fuck with you. Asians, they fuck with you. Nobody can fuck with you, right? You know that
Right.
track. So ask if it's all, that's why I hate when people do the like non-black POCs, when they do the POC, which we're all in it together. As someone who sometimes does that as a Latino from the hood, I hate that because ask black people in Oakland how they're treated by Mexicans and by Koreans in Oakland. Ask them how they're treated.
You mean ask them in Massachusetts how they're
Ask
treated?
them, well, right. Well, he was talking about Oakland, but Massa, come on, man. It's so easy for us to get in law enforcement, and all of a sudden we go from brown to blue. And all of a sudden you see black kids and you want to do your shit. So the Texas thing
Oh, when
was
I
a
say
white was a brown officer.
When I say black and brown, and you go, who's brown?
Right.
When I say that, I mean black and brown. I mean Latinos, right?
Right,
But
right.
they don't see it that way, because then you have
They
some
don't see themselves
Latinos
like
that
that.
think that they're white, and
Right.
they don't know that they're not.
Right.
And it's frustrating as hell. But this goes back to that solidarity, right? Everybody want to be black until you have to be black.
Right.
So
Right.
if you're getting attacked, oh, I'm a person of color. Right?
Right.
But when we getting shot at, I'm sorry, crickets.
Right.
When black women
literally-
are dying on tables, crickets. Calvin, I cried from the beginning of my C-section to the end out of fear. I demanded the doctor not cut me until my husband walked in the room to know that I was not by myself. Until you live that, shut up. Everybody want to
Why
be
was
black
Pat not in the room from the beginning?
because emergency happened. They were originally going to turn the baby around.
Right.
And in the midst of them trying to turn the baby around, my water broke and the umbilical cord tried to come first.
Okay.
So I wasn't supposed to stay in.
And he wasn't in for that exact
no,
process?
because
Okay.
during that process in the OR, it's just you and the nurses
Okay.
to turn the baby.
Okay.
Because I had to
okay.
get an epidural and all this other stuff for
Right.
them to just turn the baby, and then I was gonna go push, and he was
Okay.
gonna be there with me through that process because
Okay.
they were dressing him.
Uh-huh.
You got to get dressed
Okay,
for the OR.
okay.
In the
Oh, so in the middle of that, he
Right.
happened to not be right there.
Right. And in that moment, my water broke and the umbilical cord tried to come first, and CJ was going to die, and they
Oh,
had to start
shit.
cutting me. They ran to go get him. I'm like crying, don't touch me until my husband get here. Don't touch me till my husband get here. And this is what I mean when black women are dying. I ain't never been cut like that a day in my life. All my other kids I gave birth to naturally. I'm like, you don't touch me. They were playing music to make me comfortable. They're like, what kind of music do you like? I'm listening to Charlie Wilson. Go get my husband. Call my mama.
You like the Cracker Killer remix, bitch. I told you not to.
Then I had a doula. Shout out to Lawana, who was my doula.
Shout out to Guru Lou.
But they wouldn't let her upstairs, right? Don't even get me started. So I'm like, nobody touches me until I see a face I can recognize.
How we didn't dedicate a show to dragging these mother effers?
Listen. So I'm like, so when you want to talk about black women being treated poorly in the medical system, when you want to talk about black women being treated poorly, I'm pretty sure every black woman under the sound of my voice has a story that they can tell. But when I tell you, Calvin, even right now, being pregnant again, my biggest fear is them having to cut me again.
But you should have the right to abort said child. You should not have the right to have a doula there,
Right, support.
to have your husband
No,
there,
you don't get to have support.
to be treated well, to have
Right.
a 4-day-old baby be safe and okay,
Right,
okay,
right. That's how it works.
okay.
Right.
We're
So I'm
getting
gonna
this
need
now.
I'm gonna need them to not
Clear.
do the selective outrage. I need y'all to be outraged that black women are still not getting the treatment they deserve. Even after you get your rights, we don't get ours.
Right. But so to the point of this, we sometimes get on that sucker status. So in this guy, this Mexican cop, right? Literally, his name is like Ramirez or some shit.
Yep.
Rolls by, black man coming from the back of the house towards the front.
Oh, I seen it. Sasha did tag me into it, but I'm blocked. I
Yeah.
can't do anything.
Oh, now you. Yo, that's a terrible free-mo. Yeah, he. So then they.
and
they
shout out
did
to
that.
Wilfredo, by the way, too. Go ahead.
Oh, shout out to Wilfredo. They did that. So he was out there, and then the guy was like, show me that you live here. He's recording him. He's like, why do I have to show you that I live here? He's like, oh, I'm asking you because I need to make sure you live here. I see a no trespassing sign. He's like, because it's my fucking sign. Because it's my house and my sign. No trespassing. You're trespassing right now. Get off my property, please. And he was like, nope, right when you show me ID. He's like, I ain't showing you no ID. He's like, well, you're being detained. He's like, what am I being detained for? He's like, failure. What crime am I committing? He's like, failure to identify. He's like, I don't have to identify you from my porch.
Right.
You can't come on my property and demand that I show identification.
Right.
And then so that happened. And the guy's name was Ramirez. He's sitting there smirking and all that. Didn't care that he was being recorded. And I just was disgusted. I was just like, yo, die slow, you motherfucker. And then in Colorado, same thing. They seen a guy, black man,
Picking up trash.
picking up
I
trash.
seen that. And he was a student. He was.
I
on,
wonder-
He
why,
lived in the
student.
building.
I wonder why we say FTP.
Yeah.
I wonder why we don't kid a few times that y'all getting popped
Nah,
out
but did
here.
you see the 2 cops that arrested the 12-year-old and put a bag over his face and tied it?
Right.
But again, right? It's not happening. Why do we say Black Lives Matter? I don't know, Calvin. Maybe we're just snatching it out the sky.
It's scary.
And this is why when I sit in meetings with individuals, specifically black individuals who want to spend 85% of the meeting high-fiving the police, I be side-eyeing them like,
Can't be
word.
involved. Nope. Nope.
The police are doing a great job. We need to salute them and treat them better. Are you
Right.
kidding me?
Right,
Are
right,
you
right.
high?
No way.
But listen, we got to get ready to go, guys. This has been Activist
amazing.
Hour. Again, we will see you guys again on Saturday. We are back.
Hopefully gonna have Julia and Mingos.
Yes, on. So you guys can get an opportunity to call in, ask them questions. You can jump on Facebook and ask us questions, and we'll ask them. But we back in full effect, Cal. So again, this has been Activist Hour. We will see you guys on Saturday. We out.
Shout out to the homies at Disrupt Boston. Shout out
Yes,
to the homie
sir.
Brian Murphy on the horn.
Shout out to
Violence
Brian.
in Boston.
Yes.
Oh man, this feels good, man.
It feels good to be back.
Yeah.
See you guys later.
It's time to move. Right now. Come on. Hold this.